I want to bring it closer to where you are now and back to the UK election. And there's a bit of polling around that confirms, I suppose, what we knew and what you've been saying, that it's going to be a disastrous election for the Conservatives. But fascinating results really for the Reform Party and Nigel Farage, given his late entry into all of this.
Well, there's a lesson in politics here for any side of politics, which is political parties always have to keep in mind their core supporters. And if you lose the confidence of your core supporters, then it's very hard to make any political progress. And what's happened here is, for a variety of reasons, not for one reason, the Conservatives have lost their core supporters, many of whom have drifted off to Reform Party, to Nigel Farage's party, because they prefer his more strident and conservative political messages than the messages of the Conservatives. But the other great lesson here is that back in 2019, the Conservatives got a whopping majority with Boris Johnson as their leader. He really resonated with particularly core Conservatives, but with a substantial share of the public. And then the Conservative Party cut him down for one reason or another over breaching the rules over COVID lockdowns, which was for sure a huge problem. But the party really turned on him, and they've never really recovered from that. The last 2 years have just been a disaster for them. So, I mean, I personally think they'll be lucky to win 100 seats out of 650, and at the last election they won 365 seats. So it's shaping up as a real disaster for them.
Well, just incredible. And out of that 100, they're going to need one person who can re-galvanise and energise them into the future.
This is a Canadian style, what in the UK is called a Canadian style situation. So back in 1993, the then Conservative government in Canada not only lost the election, but only won 2 seats. And there was an alternative Conservative party called Reform, actually, the same name. It took years for the Conservatives and Reform to come back together. And finally, they did form a government under Stephen Harper. But I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of that. There'll be the remnants of the Conservative Party working with Nigel Farage and Reform in the future to see what can be resurrected for Conservative voters.